Hello, and thank you so much for returning to my channel. And if you're new here, please like and subscribe and tell your friends about it. This is a creepy content channel, so if that's something you're into, please get comfortable and maybe grab a blanket because it's going to be really creepy. On today's episode, we will be talking about the Cecil Hotel. So for those of you who don't know about the Cecil Hotel, in the 1920s, it was one of the largest hotels in Los Angeles and the West Coast, actually. It was known for being very upscale, attracting wealthy guests. However, once the Great Depression hit, that area went downhill and is now known for being Skid Row. And it developed a whole different kind of guests. Actually, it was also known for being one of the most dangerous places in LA. And the stories that have gone on in the Cecil Hotel are actually really chilling events. It also became popular for its high rise of suicides, crimes, and unsolved mysteries till this day. Since the beginning of time with the Cecil Hotel, it just had a weird, eerie connection to a lot of dark things. There was a large amount of suicides happening at the Cecil Hotel, and there was even a woman who threw her infant child out the window and just went back to sleep as if nothing even happened. Over time, the Cecil Hotel just got a reputation of being connected to so much dark energy. It was drawing so much darkness that, like I said, everyone was calling it the cursed hotel in LA. And the first gruesome murder at the hotel was the case of Goldie Osgood. She was a sweet, kind old woman, and everybody, pretty much knew her. Everyone who lived there pretty much seen her because she was always outside. She was one of those people that always communicated with everyone. She was just very social. She was always outside feeding the pigeons, and she even had the nickname Pigeon Goldie because every time they saw her, she was feeding the pigeons outside. Until one day, one of the workers walked into her room and found her stabbed to death and strangled in her room. I can't imagine what everybody was thinking at that time. Like, just imagine everyone knows this one sweet old lady and she gets brutally murdered and stabbed to death. And until this day, it remains unsolved. Just another eerie occurrence at the Cecil Hotel that remains unsolved. And if that wasn't enough, the Cecil Hotel was linked to one of the most gruesome murders in Los Angeles and is very well known for the woman by the name of Elizabeth Short, also known as the Black Dahlia. She was an aspiring actress, a very beautiful woman. She was kind of making a name for herself and she was trying to become a star. She was found 6 miles away from the Cecil Hotel, mutilated from the waist down. Whoever got to her, they sliced her lips from cheek to cheek so that she can have a permanent smile. And they even drained the whole body of all of her blood. It was really crazy, like the craziest thing. But witnesses say that she was last seen alive in the bar at the Cecil Hotel. Yeah, that makes it a little bit more scary. To me, I just wonder, is the Cecil Hotel really cursed? Did something really happen there? Because there's way too many occurrences there. And trust me, the list keeps going. So let's just keep getting deeper. In 1984 to 1985, there was a serial killer on the loose, and detectives were looking for him. He went by the name of the Night Stalker. He was sneaking into women's homes, watching them, trying to see whenever they were alone, and he was murdering them, raping them, all types of horrible, gruesome activity. Once everything was said and done, they found out that he was living at the Cecil Hotel on the 14th floor. And witnesses say that he would dump his clothing, his bloody clothing, into the dumpsters outside. And he would walk inside of the Cecil Hotel completely stripped of his clothing with nothing but his underwears on, not even any shoes or anything. And he would go to his room and shower the blood of his victims. They didn't even bother to call 911 or ask him why there was blood because there was always so much chaos at the Cecil Hotel. That's just to paint a picture of what it was like to be there at that time. And that's just the very beginning of everything. Alright, so one of the most recent and mysterious unsolved mysteries pretty much at the Cecil Hotel to happen was the case of Eliza Liam in 2013. She was a very active person on social media. She posted a lot on Tumblr. She had like a little blog going on and she was posting every day. She was a student and she was a very, smart, active person. Till this day, her posts are still there. So if you want to go take a look, you can. It's on Tumblr. Her name's Eliza Liam. She was excited to be entering Cali and she wanted to go on adventures and meet new people and discover new places. Well, she was exploring and going about her day and she vanished. She ended up being a missing person. After a while, there was no more blogs. There was no more communication with the internet and everyone started wondering what happened. And once this got to her family, they filed a missing persons report. Then the investigation started and they started going over the footage from the Cecil Hotel where she was last known to be. And this is where things get very interesting. They're going over the footage and she's last seen in the elevator where she's pressing the buttons like it looks like she's nervous or running from someone because she gets into the elevator, presses the button, stands into the back of the elevator. Then she steps out, looks both ways, gets back into the elevator and stands in the corner like as if she's hiding. Then she steps out of the elevator. That's the last thing that they have. Now there's a lot of theories that have gone on throughout this because it's still pretty much unsolved. Once the case was done, they pretty much said that it was an accidental thing, but we'll get there. So they they're looking for her. There's no trace of where she might be or anything like that, but during that course of time, there was other things going on in the hotel. All the guests were starting to complain about a weird taste in the water, foul smell. Of course, there was no link between those two things, but, it was just something that was occurring. They end up sending the crew to go check the water tank and see why all the guests were constantly complaining about the smell and the taste of the water. And they finally discover Eliza Liam's body in the water tank of the Cecil Hotel. People were traumatized. People were talking about how they use that water to brush their teeth in the morning and all this crazy stuff. It was hectic. They found her body in the water tank. She was there the whole time. Till this day, they don't know how she got there, especially because the place was pretty secure and it was really hard to get to the roof of the Cecil Hotel. There was no alcohol in her system, no blood. She was taking antidepressants. So this is where the theory comes in. People think that maybe she didn't take the proper dose and she was having a manic episode and she brought herself onto the roof and she jumped into the water tank and that led to her death. But other people think that maybe something else happened, especially with the dark history of the Cecil Hotel. So much stuff has gone on in the Cecil Hotel that of course, one would think maybe something else happened. We will never really know till this day what truly happened with Eliza Liam. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. So the hotel ended up closing down. It shut down for a long time. It recently reopened in 2021. And now it's basically it's like an apartment for the unhoused in LA, for people who make a certain percentage and can't afford other housing. Would you live there? And if you do live there, please comment below and let me know what you guys think. What experience have you had? Definitely want to know if you've ever stood at the Cecil Hotel before while it was still you know, running and like people were able to stay there. I'm definitely interested in knowing if any of you live in LA and have experiences or stories. Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for joining my channel, and please like and subscribe if you're new here. Have a good night. I'll see you next time.